As children, we often quoted the phrase, finders keepers, losers weepers, especially when what we found was something that we really wanted. As Barry Phelps, a 10-minute Torah, day number 2 of the Torah portion Teitze. Let's go over to Deuteronomy, chapter number 22, and read one of my favorite Torah verses. When you see your brother's ox or his sheep straying away, you shall not hide yourself from them. Return them to your brother without fail. And if your brother is not near you, or if you do not know him, then you shall bring it to your own house, and it shall be with you until your brother seeks it. Then you shall return it to him. So much for finders, keepers, losers, weepers. Possession is 9/10 of the law. All of those man-made Torah rules that do not fit within the scroll of the Torah. There is a principle that which is lost should be looked for. The Torah says that we're not to hide ourselves from those things or those ones that are lost, but rather we should take care of them. This is the heart of Messiah Yeshua, who demonstrated that he came to seek for those that were lost. He said in Matthew chapter 15, I did not come but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So his purpose in coming to us was multitasking, multifold, if you will. And among the chief things that he came to do was to find those who had for many generations been lost. He is still, to this day, recovering these same lost sheep. There is an understanding that if you see that which needs to be done, should be done, somebody ought to do it, someone's in need. If you see it, you're accountable. I'll give you a short story on that. Came out of Walmart parking lot, ready to get into my vehicle and be on my way, getting away from that store. Saw an elderly woman, obviously lost, turning in a circle in the middle of the drive between 2 rows of parked cars. And I thought to myself, she can't find her car. First thought was, well, I hope someone helps her, or I hope she finds it. It didn't take me 5 or 6 steps, perhaps beyond her, when I closed my eyes, remembering this very verse, turned around and very cautiously, quietly, easily said, ma'am, have you lost your car, misplaced your parking space? And she was bewildered, almost to the place of tears. She said, I can't find my car. So I walked up to her and said, well, I will try to help you. Describe your car. And she said, it's a white Cadillac, and began to describe her vehicle. I said, okay, well, let's see if we can find it. Of course, she had, we call them buggies. You may call them shopping carts, but she had a buggy full of things. Come to find out, she was on one side of Walmart and her vehicle was on the other side. She was over on the grocery side. She had parked over on the home goods side. Obviously, she was not going to find her vehicle. So I helped her, pushed her cart, her buggy, over to that side, helped her unload them into her car, and took her buggy to the rack, and made sure she was okay. Well, you might think, well, you should get a warm, fuzzy feeling from that. Well, it wasn't the warm fuzzies that I got. It was a understanding of how much effort someone took to find me. And yes, obviously that's Messiah, but Messiah moves in human agencies. And so while he found me when I was morally, spiritually lost, he utilized key people who came and found me and made sure that I did not remain lost, but could find my correct destination. Let's take this into a little different area. It says one's ox or one's sheep. I do not think that these two particular animals were just randomly chosen to be included in the Torah. First of all, the ox represents the tribe of Ephraim. That is the symbol on the Ephraimite flag. Ephraim, the house of Ephraim, the house of Joseph, the house of Israel, all synonymous terms representing 10 tribes of Israel that have not been in the land for over 2,700 years. These particular tribes were removed in judgment by the Assyrians, and Yah orchestrated this, decimated in a lot of ways, but distributed. They were sifted among the Gentile nations, and the prophets declare that eventually they would become so finely sifted among the nations that they would lose their identity. They would forget after many generations who they were or are and where they originally came from, and such has indeed been the case. So there is this lost ox that we find, one who has a heart to return to the things of the Torah, one wanting to come home to the covenant that Yah made with his people, Israel. Finding such a one, we are to give caregiving until their owner comes, the owner being Yeshua. We are to provide caregiving, love, nurture, guarding, protecting, sustenance, teaching, equipping, training, etc., until the one who owns them comes for them. Then it says sheep. Now, sheep is pretty easy to understand. We are all referenced as sheep. Isaiah says that we, like sheep, have gone astray, each to our own way. Yeshua said that he would leave 99 in the corral or in the fold and go look for the lost sheep, that very one that was entangled in danger somewhere. So it's more important, he thought, to find that which was lost than to hang out with that which is already found. Likewise, seeing that there are people who are sheep, they've gone astray. They don't know their own way. They're trying to figure out how to get out of life's dangerous, trying, traumatic situations. And it's up to us to demonstrate the heart of Yeshua and go find them. Let's change the angle one more time. As congregational leaders, there are times that people come to us filtering through our congregation, and they may be indeed an ox or a sheep. And we find them. They start studying with us. They become integrated into our congregation to some degree. But the reality is they belong to somebody else. It could be that they're upset somewhere else. They've had an issue somewhere else. And they're looking for a better place, at least a temporary place. Let's remember who they belong to. Now, if there are abusive shepherds leading that other place, if they have been traumatized somewhere else, then Yah may have raised you up as a shepherd after his own heart, according to Ezekiel 34 and Jeremiah chapter 23, to give caregiving to those that are wounded so that this sheep or this ox is no longer abused. However, if it's been misunderstandings, if it's just been emotional upset, if it's just been one of those things, so to speak, don't be disappointed if they come to your place, they find healing, they find some restoration, they get their feet back on a place of solid ground, and they start growing again. And then they realize, I need to go home. I need to find my way back to where I came from and make some things right and be reestablished there. I used to have a very strong protectionist, personal offense when those things happened. But I've had to learn over the years that Yah is the one who is the master of the harvest, and he will put his sheep and his oxen where they belong. May He put them in your company, and may we be in His company. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, shalom.